What's up, everyone? Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on Cheesehead TV, wherever you are on the internet. We're dedicated to you, Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Sorry for being a little late. Lombardi time does not exist at LiveX, but it's good to see so many people in the comments mixing it up already. It's the off season. Not a ton going on, obviously, as far as news goes, although the tight end that the Packers picked up from the Lions failed his physical in Green Bay, much like he failed it in New England, which I found it kind of curious that they picked him up in the first place for that reason. But, so the roster stands at 89. But most importantly, probably, is we finally have a date. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Grossi been running his mouth all year long about his Madden skills. So now, we get a little put up or shut up time. July 19th. At 1 p.m. here on this here stream, Cheesehead TV. Or if you care to take it in on Tom's stream, you can do it there too. Nagler versus Grossi. The Madden Challenge. It is going down. 1 p.m. Eastern, live on Cheesehead TV. Be sure to tune in to see Tom Grossi get a little taste of his medicine. Hello to everybody in the comments. Good to see you all. Favre is back. Favre Watch is on. Favre Watch is on, people. That's right, yesterday afternoon for about 3 minutes there on the official Instagram account of Packers legend and Pro Football Hall of Famer Brett Favre was an announcement that he was coming back to play in the NFL in 2020. Later on, that post was deleted and Favre apparently told TMZ that he was hacked, but I don't believe it. Why is it that we blindly buy the I was hacked theory? Right? Whenever any other athlete says I was hacked, it is met with derision and skepticism. But when Favre says he's hacked, everyone says, oh yeah, sure, of course he was hacked. No, not of course he was hacked. He's clearly trying to cover up the fact. It was clear. He put that out there prematurely. And then used the hacker defense, the tried and true hacker defense that you all bought hook and sinker. Come on. Brett Favre is back, baby. It's just a question of when. I'm so excited, as you can tell. Let's see what else we got going on here. More iconic, BJ Raji or Banky's Old Fashioned? Dustin, that is a tough choice. And these are the tough questions we answer when it's time for the long drought of the off season. But seriously, though, I did want to talk about Matt LaFleur and the fact that he's a rookie head coach in Green Bay, looking to do something that no rookie coach in the history, the 100-year history of the Green Bay Packers has ever done. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Matt LaFleur trying to become the first head coach in Green Bay ever to take his team, his inaugural team, his first team to the postseason. What? I hear you say? That can't be possible. In 100 years, the Packers have never had a coach lead the team to the post. Not even the great Vince Lombardi? That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give you the receipts here. Now, it's interesting because the very first head coach of the Green Bay Packers in 1919, one Curly Lambeau, went 10-1, but there was no postseason. So then what's crazy is then you got to go like 1950 for the next head coach. Curly just didn't want to leave. But okay, so then here's the list, right? We got Gene Ronzani. He goes 3-9 his first year. Lyle Blackburn goes 4-8 his first year. And then, oh my gosh, in 58, Ray Scooter McLean goes 1-10-1 his rookie year. And then you get to the great Vince Lombardi in 59. He goes 7-5, winning record, but no postseason. Phil Bankston, 6-7-1. Dan Devine and his dog, 4-8-2. 2 ties, really? You go to Bart Starr, head coach, 4-10 his first year. Forrest Gregg, 8-8. Hey, 8-8. Getting better. Lindy Infante, 4-12. Yikes. Mike Holmgren, 9-7. Another winning record, but again, no postseason. Ray Rhodes, one and done at 8-8. Mike Sherman, 9-7, but no postseason. And then Mike McCarthy, 8-8. Also started his tenure against the Bears, getting blanked, as a matter of fact, in Lambeau Field. So yeah, not one single human being has done it in 100 years. Can Matt LaFleur be the first? I mean, it sets up somewhat well for him internally. I think obviously they've done what they can to give him a strong defense to counter the fact that, he's got to bring that offense along. Not a lot of additions on the offensive side of the ball, so it's up to him. He's got an all-world quarterback, and he's got talented pieces strewn about the offense, but really it's down to him and his scheme. Can he get it to work? Can he get it to go? Can he get Aaron Rodgers to buy in? We'll see. Only the 100-year weight of history is upon him. Anxious to see his rookie year as a head coach. Oh, wow. Let's see what's going on. Oh, good God, I remember a lot of this. Yeah, there's a whole lot of it. Let's do a Nags of Titletown versus Big Cat of Soldier Field for our next Madden showdown. I'm down with that. Yeah, Big Cat's probably too scared, though. The offseason should be filled with more history lessons like this. Nobody wants a history lesson. I just thought it was interesting that in 100 years, not one dude has taken the team to the postseason his first year. Crazy. Best wishes from Germany. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out the stream in this dire part of the offseason. Let's see. There's a whole lot of joking going on here in the comment section today, people. Bears fans love Nagler. It is funny. I just try and do my thing. I'll give some red meat to the Packers base. But man, in a way that Vikings fans never do. And that's, I think, you can throw the championship thing back at them. That's always the easiest. The soulless corporate suck of a stadium that they have also, bird-killing apparatus, that's always fun to throw out at them. But Bears fans, man, they are cocky as hell. One season. They have 1 year where they win the division, get to the playoffs, and fucking lose. Oh, now all of a sudden they're the kings of the North. Oh, shut the hell up. They are cocky as hell. I am very anxious for this season to get underway. Get some humble pie served down there, our friends in the Windy City. Shouting out from Oshkosh. What's up, Norm? What do you think Alexander's true upside is? I think Alexander, and we've talked about it a little bit before, I think he has definite Pro Bowl potential, and he's got all-pro potential. I think he can be a star corner in the league. The athletic ability, the aptitude, his ceiling is quite high. Consistency is the big thing that he's going to have to improve upon from last year, looking at his rookie year. He has long stretches of excellent play, and then he takes a dip every once in a while. And that's not to say that, there are times when he just, gets beat like any other corner in the league does. That's not just talking about a rookie corner, but just like on a 5-yard out, a simple 5-yard out, sometimes you're just going to get beat. Sometimes the guy across from you he's getting paid too, and he wins one. Thielen beat him a couple times, on routes that weren't all, jaw-dropping, but that happens. That's life as a corner in the NFL. The thing he has to clean up are where he gets kind of turned around sometimes, or he loves the physical game, and I think he's much better when he's playing press, when he's getting physical with guys at the line of scrimmage. When he's playing off, sometimes in a match zone kind of concept, I think I wouldn't begin to presume to diagnose his mental wherewithal about what, as far as what he's keying on, what he's thinking about. Obviously, that's something that he's working long and hard on with his coaches. But it seems like that's where I won't even say struggles, that's where the inconsistency comes. And if he can just shore that up, sky's the limit, at least to my eyes. I love it. We just waved the tight end from Detroit. Yes, Zachary. We talked about that a little bit ago in the old stream here. I guess it's just because we've mopped the floor with the Bears for so long, they'll latch on to anything they can at this point. Brett, you are 100% correct. Let's head over to Twitter, see what's going on the old tweet machine. I think this was sent before the kid was before the kid was cut. But are the Packers treating tight ends like the spice in Dune? Now look, I don't have the time or the wherewithal to explain to the non-nerds in our audience why that is such a fucking awesome tweet. But yes, they are. And if you don't know what that's in reference to, you should read more. Where can I get tickets for Packers games this year? Andy, I'm glad you asked. You can head to cheeseheadtv.com and look for the link to Ticket King. They've been around since 1992, physically located right across from Lambeau Field, but you don't need to be in Green Bay to purchase tickets from them. You can do it at cheeseheadtv.com, and they have all the tickets for every single Packers game, whether it's a preseason game. If Matt LaFleur makes history and they go to the postseason, they can get you those. They've got them at Lambeau, away games, throughout the regular season, any single Green Bay Packers game that you want to attend, Ticket King. They got you covered. Let's head back over to the chat, shall we? Why is Murphy getting involved more than he has in the past? Travis, did I just travel back in time? I thought we talked all about this for months. Murphy, why is he getting involved more than he has in the past? I'll give you, what is that line from Princess Bride? I explain. No, there's too much. I will sum up. He's getting involved because he found that the communication had broken down between many of the different, I won't say warring factions, but groups within 1265 Lombardi, both in personnel and in coaching, and he decided that he needed to be a little bit more involved to help facilitate that communication, thereby breaking up what had been a fiefdom of one for a general manager into 3 separate silos, headed by Brian Gutekunst, Russ Ball, and the head coach, which turned out to be Matt LaFleur. Now, all 3 of those gentlemen will report to Mark Murphy, who will, yes, be meeting with these gentlemen throughout the season, pretty much every week, although sometimes they have to miss a week because of scheduling. But ultimately, he is hands-off. He will not be dictating who plays, what plays are being called, who gets signed, who gets cut, who gets traded, etc. He is very much hands-off, but he just wants to know what's going on, and he wants to help facilitate conversations if there is any potential conflict to head it off at the pass. Now, I hear what you're saying, naysayers, but Aaron, Ron Wolf came here after a hellacious history where the Packers were terrible for decades and fixed and saved them by doing the exact opposite of having one expert football mind in charge of football and making all the decisions and being accountable, that being the key phrase and word there, for everything that went on when it came to football. I think Ted Thompson and his deterioration on the health side probably plays a little bit more into this than it would have if it had just been a normal situation where Ted is right as rain and he makes some decisions that lead to their downfall, and then everybody goes, well, that guy's got to go, and then they let him go, and then they pick a new head of football. However, because of the way it transpired, and because Russ Ball was involved, Mike McCarthy was involved, some other personnel people were involved, it got really messy. And so Mark Murphy just wanted to kind of step in, take the reins, and become accountable. Now, here's the part that no one ever seems to want to acknowledge. Look, it could work. It could not. It has worked other places. The Steelers have won multiple championships with this hierarchy in place. It can work. Now, I would prefer one sole person as the head of football and the CEO and president to be concerned with everything else when it comes to running the franchise. Mark Murphy has wanted to become involved, and now he is, and he will be judged by what happens on the field as a direct result of the hires he has made in Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur. And that's what you have to let play out. But we know who's accountable. It is Mark Murphy. That is a very long-winded way. I didn't sum up very well at all. I'm sorry. What did it do, Aaron Nagy? What's up, DJ Shinny? That's a lovely handle you have there. What's this talk about Ty Summers being Martinez's eventual replacement? Do you see that happening? I think Blake is underrated. Woo, John, a lot going on there. I don't know where that talk is coming from. It's the first I've heard about it. Can we let the kid hit the field with some pads on and go against NFL level competition first before we start anointing him as anything other than a rookie 7th rounder who's got a lot to prove? That's where I'm at. I mean, I know that's not what you're suggesting. You have heard this someplace. Could someday, eventually, he turn into that? Sure, that's a possibility. But let's see him play a down or two first before we go down that road. Where's Corey? Corey's hiding like the coward he is. He's back there. I see him going into his office. There he is. He's walking around. He doesn't want anything to do with me. Aaron, are you better on offense or defense on Madden? David, that's really nice of you to try and do Tom Grossi's scouting for him. But I'll tell you what, you think you've watched the Madden previews, you think you know how I play Madden. Dog, let me tell you, Grossi ain't ready. He ain't ready for this heat. He is not ready, and I sure as hell ain't going to give him any tips on how to beat me. Greetings from Germany. Another German viewer. Could you please elaborate what a failed physical means? Does it mean the player has a pre-existing injury, or is it about fitness parameters? Well, it wouldn't be. It's not fit. When you say fitness parameters, it's not like they have to meet a certain athletic threshold. It would be about an injury that, when you say pre-existing injury, something that he's hoping to come back from. Yeah, that he had prior to entering the building, that the doctors have deemed he is not up to snuff, so to speak. Now, as we've seen, the Martellus Bennett thing being the kind of floodlight for this. Teams vary as far as their thresholds for what they allow and or think is passable when it comes to a physical examination. But there are certain guidelines that almost all the teams stick to. And again, without knowing the specifics of the injury, which we never would, it's really hard to make any kind of, intelligent, informed comment on what exactly the team doctors have decided is a no-go. Will Pepper Burris' retirement affect the team in any way? John, that's a really good question. I would tend to doubt it. Flea's been there now for a long time. He's still on board. For a good portion of the staff, I think, has learned much, if not all they can, from Pepper. It will be weird when injuries occur now and you don't see Pepper coming on the field. That's just been a mainstay in Green Bay since the early 90s. That guy's an absolute institution. But you definitely wish him all the best. If you haven't checked out, Mike Spofford did kind of a farewell piece / interview with him at Packers.com. I highly recommend it. Just a guy who's seen it all, definitely done it all. Do you think the Madden stream will get reported for bullying because of how bad you beat Grossi? Of course. Can I start making a book for Nagler versus Grossi? Actually, I think that was the first question I was asked this morning when we announced it. What the line was, I have no idea. Go ahead, knock yourself out. What's your opinion on tanking in the NFL? Ethically wrong, but wouldn't it be a strategic move? Oh, Bryce. Oh, Bryce. Oh, Bryce. Okay. The issue, the problem, the ultimate problem with tanking in the NFL is getting the idea that you could get any kind of semblance of a buy-in from the guys you're putting on the field. Now, we have seen essentially what amounts to a front office pretty much kind of tanking in, I think the most recent example is in Buffalo. They made the postseason for the first time in 18 years and then proceeded to strip the team completely bare, almost essentially punting on a season last year, knowing that they had no shot. Now, I don't necessarily think that they were, or was it 2 years ago? I don't think it was necessarily they were trying to get as bad as possible, but they certainly didn't have any illusions about making another run to the postseason. And they certainly were setting themselves up for down the road. Now, all that said, no front office executive, and that was I suspect, and I think this has been reported, very much driven by ownership. No front office executive, no player, no coach, no trainer, no secretary in the building, nobody associated with an NFL franchise wants to lose a football game, wants to see an extended, sustained period of losing. The idea that you could tell, you could put guys on the field with the intent of losing. Just kind of is like anathema to everything that these people work for and towards. So is there an aspect of it in the league? I think you'd be kind of foolhardy to say absolutely not. But I think 98% of the participants in the league, whether that be on the field, in the press box, meaning the personnel people, in the training room, et cetera, what have you, nobody is operating that way at all. Whew, is Al Harris the most underrated Packers cornerback of all time? I mean, I love Al. It's hard to call him underrated. I think most people recognize how great he was. I mean, Giants fans love to bring up the NFC Championship game, and it sucks that nationally, I think a lot of people remember him for that. But I think in Green Bay, a lot of people remember him for dreadlocks in his wake, picking off Matt Hasselbeck in the playoffs and taking it to the house. So, I wouldn't call him underrated. I think a lot of people recognize how great he was. Book set at Nagler. 3.5, I'll take it. Will Rodgers be okay backing up Favre again? I'm telling you, man, bring Brett in, have him compete against Kaiser, and watch him win. That's all I'm saying. They got the new system that, a lot of handoffs, a lot of bootlegs, just let him get out on the edge and chuck it. I mean, I'm telling you. What did he say a couple years ago? I could still sling it, I just don't want to get hit. Okay, fine. Run the ball a lot, go max pro, 3rd and short, let him chuck it. I'm telling you. It could work, people. What do I think about Jamon Moore? Cheerios, that is a broad question. I think Jamon Moore has a lot of untapped potential. I'm excited to see him in training camp. I hope he starts with a clean slate and wows everyone and becomes the talk of camp. That said, he's got to hold on to the football. Number one. Can't live with the drops. It was something he dealt with in college. It really crept up on him bad last summer. I hope he's maybe new coaching staff, new situation. Hopefully that helps kind of free him, concentrates, and he's just balls out. Because, look, he's got all the athletic ability in the world, and he could be a really good player, especially in this offense, if he can just hold on to the football. And obviously read defenses and do all the little stuff you got to do to gain Aaron Rodgers' trust. We'll see. Favre would beat out Rodgers. All right, Chase, relax. Relax, buddy. Okay, see, now we're getting Ladarius Gunter greater than Al Harris. All right, Bay Area, just relax now. Just relax. Someone started early. This team could be 2010 all over. Okay, David. Okay, just dial it back. Dial it back. Let's see the offense in action for a little bit. Let's see the defense gel a little bit. I mean, could they make a magical run? Sure. Yeah, it could happen. I could also be given authority over Packers personnel. Brian Gutekunst could say, you know what, Nagler? Come on board. I need your help. Both of these things could happen. We'll just have to let it play out. Do any of the Packers watch your stream? Not that they admit. I know there are people in Packers PR that do. I don't think any players do, unless it gets clipped and we put it on Twitter or something. But I do know of 2 Packers players who are aware that I am taking on Tom Grossi because they reached out about it this morning. So we'll have a few Packers watching on July 19th when I wipe Grossi all over the map. That'll be fun. Serious question. Will you guys be doing Packer transplants from Corey's backyard during training camp? Jesse, I'm glad you asked. We're so close to being able to let you guys know what we're doing for not only for camp but for the season. We're close. We're close. As you see, 36 days until training camp starts. I promise. Before this number gets to 1, we will let you know. We will be doing something during training camp. That's all I can say. What's on the line for the Madden game? Bradley, just our pride. Just the ability to look our loved ones in the face and tell them, I was victorious. And then to come into the chat each and every day and not be completely humiliated. That's what's on the line. As much trash as you are talking, you had better wipe up the floor with Grossi. Well, yeah, of course. What? I'm not talking junk. I'm not talking trash. What are you, trash? I speak the truth. The truth will set you free. I am free because I have spoken the truth. Does Rodgers run his mouth too much? Zach, that's a interesting question. No, not at all. In fact, I don't think Rodgers runs his mouth enough. Look, and I'm sure this is off of the Mike Silver thing. Rodgers is hanging out talking to Mike Silver, and he says, you know what? I don't think this is okay. Here's my dramatic interpretation of how the conversation went between Aaron Rodgers and Mike Silver, and then how the internet has interpreted it. The actual conversation probably, I wasn't there, but probably went something like this. So what are you going to do about the, the fact that you audible a lot? I mean, what are you going to do about it? I mean, because the system, from what I'm hearing from Matt, you don't get a lot of freedom in this system. Well, I don't want to throw away 11 years. I've learned a lot, and I do a lot. Guys like Brady, Breeze, Peyton in the day. We all do a lot. It's a certain level you get to where you know a lot, and I just don't want to throw all that away. That's how it probably happened. Now, here's the internet's version of that conversation. Matt LaFleur, I don't know, doesn't like audibles. I don't want to throw away 11 years. I mean, my God, I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. How in the world could LaFleur come in here and tell me what to do? It's ridiculous. And scene. Rodgers just has a little too much California in him. He's California, but so what? Ain't no thing. We all got our stuff. I got a little bit too much Wisconsin in me. You are who you are, It's all good. Packers locker room has wagers already going on the Madden game. I doubt it, but it'd be fun. Jim Kelly called his own plays. Has the NFL changed that much that coaches don't want their QBs changing plays at the line of scrimmage? Well, Jim Kelly also ran a run and shoot that was 0 for 4 in the Super Bowl. But Jim Kelly is a great quarterback. It's a push and a pull, and it's something that they will develop throughout their tenure together. That's the other thing. Everybody wants an answer right now. It's a work in progress, and it will be for quite some time. I thought Jeff Schwartz, the former New York Giant lineman, among other teams, he put it perfectly on Twitter 2 days ago when he said, look, you got a coach coming in implementing a brand new offensive system. Historically, it takes a good 7-8 weeks for them to hit their stride. I mean, I think maybe some people expect LaFleur to come in with Aaron Rodgers and just McVay it up, right? Where you take this Jeff Fisher-looking squad and turn it into this, attack on the Death Star. And it's just history will tell you, and the odds tell you that that's just not going to happen. Now, I don't expect them to come out and look like Sisters of the Poor, but I also don't expect them to come in there and put up 40 points a game. They will have to work on it. They will hopefully progress. And look, what they look like in September doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot to me in comparison to what they look like in November. As long as I see consistent progress, the team getting better, the team starting to gel on the offensive side of the ball, man, just let them work. And I know I'm somewhat preaching to the choir, but also being ignored by a bunch of crazy people. So that's fine. That's Spencer. That's an interesting. If you got a sponsor offer from a tequila company, what is the minimum amount of money for you to accept and take a shot every touchdown Green Bay scores? Spencer, I might do that for free. No, I'm kidding. I don't know, a lot. Enough to pay my salary. How's that? Antonio Freeman or Robert Brooks? I hate it when you guys do this stuff to me. Man, you're killing me here. I got to go with free, though. I love Robert Brooks. Love Robert. I got to go with free. We need next to be sponsored by Cleo's Brown Beam in Appleton. All right, I got to go. That's amazing. Oh, all right. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm sorry if I couldn't get to your question and or comment. But thank you so much for making Cheesehead TV part of your Packers routine, especially in this dead time of year. I know there's not a whole lot of news to talk about, so we mix it up, but it does mean a lot that you guys take the time out of your day to watch, especially when you come here live. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends on Facebook, tell them about it. You know, heck, go to Patreon, patreon.com/cheeseheadtv. If you like what we do here at Cheesehead TV, give us $5 a month. It really helps. In the meantime, I'll be back with some extra cheese at some point this week. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night.